Talk and Power, your motorsport and motoring radio show. Now on 88.5 FM, The Valley Comes Alive. And podcasting across iTunes and talkandpower.com.au.
Okay, I'm here with Bam from Team Bam Bam. Bam, thanks for joining us on the podcast.
No problem at all, you're welcome.
Bam, for those listeners of ours that aren't aware of you or haven't heard of you, they're probably new to Western Australia, I would assume, because everyone in our scene has heard of you or knows of you. Tell us, for those listeners that aren't aware of what you've done over the years, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've managed to stay alive, not kill myself, which, according to a lot of people is actually... Well, depending on who you talk to, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. My passion has been cars since I was like 10 years old. Started driving young, got interested in cars pretty much straight away, and it's more of an obsession than a hobby or anything. I've got 5 cars at the weekend today, which is just stupid, even on my standards. I love cars. I love all types of cars. Anything that people have put work into, and it's obviously their passion, and everybody's got their own story, and it's good to see those stories unfold over the many years of being at events like this and ones around Australia as well. So it's good for the scene, and everybody seems to have a good time.
Certainly do. And those that are not familiar with yourself, you've been part of the Motivation as well since probably day one, I would assume. Tell us a little bit about Motivation back then in number one.
Yeah, so I've been involved with Perth City Street Machine Club, and we are basically the owners of Motivation. We started the show. We got some promoters in to help us, and it just sort of snowballed and kept on going. But it started off as basically just a car park display at Richmond Raceway, obviously 35 years ago, because this is number 35, and then I didn't have to do any maths. And it so progressed into having some driving events, which the first ones were we had a go to woe. Insurance was really hard to get, so we needed to make it a little bit more spicy, and we decided that we needed to have a tyre warming competition. So the insurance company were okay with a tyre warming competition, but not a burnout competition. So the go to woe and the slalom basically got thrown aside, and people were just warming their tyres and straight over the witches' hats, and it was as hilarious as anything. So Perth City Street Machine Club started it. A bunch of guys in the club that thought this is a really good idea. We don't have anything. It's actually the longest running show of its type in Australia. So it actually has beaten the Summer Nats always by 1 year. Now it's beaten them by 2 because of everything that's just happened. It's a stable part of the history of motorsport and car shows.
Yeah, over the years it's moved to different locations, but memory serves me correctly, Belmont Racecourse as well?
Belmont was, because I was involved with it when we were at Richmond Raceway, Cannington Greyhounds, then it went to the Burswood outside the Dome there when that existed. The Belmont one was actually a different show that me and another couple of guys did, which was the Street Machine Western Nationals. And we had the Street Machine State Titles as well, which is that was different places as well. But Fremantle Harbour, or Fremantle Wharf, was probably the best one that we had for that. But we'd also been to Claremont Showgrounds as well. So, like I said, I'm obsessed, and I just love the whole scene. It's great.
Tell us a little bit some of the 5 cars you've got here today.
So I've got a 34 3-window coupe with a blown 540. And I suppose I have a different passion for each car because they are all different. Everyone says, what's your favourite? But they all do different things. They handle different ways. They're completely different, in every single way from everything else. That one's very loud and aggressive, and, people like things like that for weddings, obviously. Not. It's good, and it's sort of something that's, in your face. The 57 Chev, that's got a blown 555 cubic inch motor in there. Great for just going and beating up on and doing skids and power skids and things like that. So that's really good. Got the Countach, which you don't touch. You just leave them and drive them. Got the EK Holden, which I did basically as a car that I wanted to still get involved, don't care where I park it because obviously that's an issue, and I can just get in it and go. So I've put a fairly decent sound system in there, so I'll go and try out for the sound competition and do that. My 8-year-old son loves that because we can just get in and just go for a drive, and it's pretty easy. And then I've got the Toyota Corolla, which I always wanted a sleeper. That to me is like the epitome of a sleeper. It just looks like Granddad's car, and it does a 9-second quarter mile and is fantastic on the hands for holding on.
That's pretty stout, actually. That is certainly a sleeper. Hey, Bam, tell us a little bit about Perth City Street Machine Car Club as well. We spoke with Julian a couple of weeks ago, Scafidi, that is, the president, but just give us a brief on them as well.
So, again, it started probably almost 40 years ago, and I was one of the original members. There's only 3 life members. I'm one of those, and I've seen it change so many times. We're getting involved with doing the concessions for classics and things like that as well. We've always been there. We're not a fly-by-night club that's been just on Facebook or something like that. So we're an incorporated body. We meet first Tuesday of the month in Cannington, and it's just a bunch of guys that are like-minded. You don't have to have a car that's finished. In fact, there's guys that we encourage, hey, if you want some information, come along. If you're building something, it's all good. And it's a pretty relaxed atmosphere to get together, go on cruise, talk about cars. They have a couple of drinks and come to places like this.
Look, I know some of your members, Ange Kiera in particular, great guy, has been with the club a long time as well, and speaks very highly of the club. And for those that are interested in getting on, registering for a concessional licence, they can join the Perth City Street Machine Car Club at the website. I'll put the link in a podcast below, so for those that want to go there, have a look there. Bam, look, thanks for your time today, really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. You got a website or a Facebook page where we can follow your cars?
I've got a Facebook page which is just Team Bam Bam, and go on there and have a look and see what I'm up to.
No worries, Bam. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Talk and Power, your motorsport and motoring radio show. Now on 88.5 FM, The Valley Comes Alive. And podcasting across iTunes and talkandpower.com.au.